Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news and introduce you to the pioneers and the founders of the space. Today, I'm very kindly joined by a good friend of mine, someone who's out here in Bali at the Solana Temple right now. Nin, make yourself known.
Yo, good morning,
Here we go. I thought you had got it.
It's all good fun. That's right. Just wanted to show that background. But yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, Spud. Excited for the session today.
Awesome, man. And we'll get into Grav ID real soon as well. But first, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, share this to your friends, share this to your communities. We'll have a quick look at the price of Bitcoin, a quick look at the market. Then we'll delve into Nin's background into Web3 as well, and then also the project, guys. So make sure to like and subscribe and get in the comments as well. We'll be going through comments. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in there, guys. But let's get straight to it. Let me share my screen and let me just put it into this format here. As you can see, Bitcoin is actually at $105,000, doing superb right now, almost 3% in the 24 hours. Looks like Ethereum's trying to catch up as well. We've got Ethereum at 3,200 and Solana is teetering on $240. Nin, what's your take on the current market at the moment?
I'm loving it, man. After the US elections, everything went up like 100, 160%. So I was able to sell some bags and put it towards a down payment for another house. So I'm happy.
Yeah. Brilliant, man. And let's jump into your background then, because you mentioned you bought a nice house. I've actually been invited, guys, so I'm hopefully going to be heading over there very soon.
That's right.
But where are you living, and what was your background before Web3?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I think we're all in Bali, Flow Bali, as my first international trip after like a decade. So I'm really, really happy to be here. I'm originally right now living in San Francisco. Just got a new place out there. Very much so California guy, But born in Vietnam. Yeah, that's right. Born in Vietnam, grew up in Czech Republic. Consider myself somewhat of a nomad. So I really, really want to travel like all the places that all the founders here are talking about: Paris, London, Italy, Greece, Asia, Thailand, of course, visit family in Vietnam. So yeah, my background before I went to Web3, very much so I graduate from UC Berkeley, started my first startup. I was doing food truck app to track the gourmet food truck. It was a bit early at the time, but we did the mobile ordering, GPS tracking, and companies to be able to track and order food trucks to come around for lunches or dinners or whenever they had like a party going on. That was fun, learned a lot, completely failed, of course. And then I got married, spent a year at Google building bots. I don't know if you guys remember Google Plus at the time. I'm so glad that didn't go anywhere, to be honest. Can you imagine Google owning a social media? They already own so much. And just build, more censorships. Anyway.
And what year was this, Nin?
That was 2015, 2016. I got married, yeah. And that was fun. Build a bunch of bots to test the different functions on the social media, essentially try to replicate the user actions that people would try to take. And of course, that would advise anti-spam and anti, bad actor. And then I got bored. I automated half my job. The other half, I was very much so playing games. I think I played like Dungeons and Dragons, like 20 hours, and 20 hours of just, that's awesome, man. You still have Google Plus account. That's awesome.
Shout out to Steve.
Right. Yeah, shout out to Steve. And at some point I was like, what am I doing here? I'm so bored, just chilling. So I of course, built bots to starting applying into job, and one of my one of my friends said, "Hey, you should really check out this new startup called Hire Teammate." They built a job board, and people are getting hired left and right at
Yeah.
Google and Facebook and Uber. And Uber was really hot back then. And my co-founders, they ignored me for 2 months, and then they realized, wow, I really, really, we really need to talk to this guy. I drove down like 2 blocks from the Googleplex amphitheater to their accelerator. Did a quick interview with the founders, the angel investor, and they brought me in as the growth hacker, growth specialist, and that's when I joined Hire Easy, became co-founder because
Wow.
they gave me a job to simply just, hey, here's our analytics dashboard. Everything is 10x. It's not real. Your job is to make it real so we can raise. I made it real about in 2 weeks. They made me co-founder, and the rest is history.
Wow.
We build AI. We pivoted so many times, but ultimately we build an AI talent sourcing platform for recruiting people and finding people. And we did, pretty well. 350 employees. But what I remember is not like the money and all that is all good. But in 2020, we had almost 1 million hires, impacted 1 million hires at different organizations. So awesome ride,
Yeah, brilliant.
doing AI. And
Lives. For some, perhaps
yeah,
they didn't have the job they got, but I imagine a lot of them were very happy with the services.
yeah, absolutely. They still use it, and it's still going. My co-founder's still there. I kind of got bored again and really wanted to explore Web3, and
Yeah,
that's
this is my next question. You obviously have a technical development, aspect to you were with Google creating the bots there, but what was your journey into Web3 and how did that look?
yeah, Web3. I think I quit Hire Easy couple years ago, like maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I was like, wow, blockchain is so hot. I was always super curious, right? And that was my chance to get into it. So I tried to recruit all my co-founders, technical co-founder, and of course, I couldn't find one until I actually found one. It wasn't from my company. Sometimes if you're like established founder, you find like a director or VP of engineering. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna follow you, but somehow I didn't want it to, take good talent from my last startup because I knew first they needed it, but second, none of them were Web3 founders, right?
Mm,
So I specifically recruited for Web3 founder.
nice.
Beatrice joined me, and that's kind of the first foray because it was so hot at the time. I think I don't exactly remember, but as an early, dabbling in investments in just Bitcoin and then Ethereum, which I sold unfortunately, before they became
Yeah.
popular.
And
We all have those stories, right?
what year did cryptocurrency first come into your eyeline? Then what was your first coin? Was it Bitcoin? Was it Ethereum? I know you're also a Cardano holder as well. But
Yeah,
we're going
yeah,
to talk
yeah, yeah,
about Cardano a little bit later. But what were some of the first coins that
for
came onto your
sure, bro. I was in UC Berkeley. I think my last year before I founded Trixum. That was my first company, and that was 2012, so very early,
radar?
right?
Amazing.
And 2013, 14, I was thinking, well, maybe I should really buy the mining machine, but it
Yeah.
costed like 5 grand. Of course,
When
I'm
you were a
kicking
student,
myself in the foot
that's a
right
lot of
now.
money.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, kicking myself in the foot, but you know, all good fun. Um, so yeah, and
Brilliant.
then
So
fast forward all these years, got into Cardano. It was between Ethereum and Solana, and my co-founders at the time somehow they chose Cardano because of the technology and because really the whiteboard video that Charles made, and now we're building on Solana. So.
Brilliant, man. And let's dive straight into it then. Tell us a bit more about your platform and what inspired you to launch it, and what market needs does it address?
Yeah, absolutely. So Gravity, we built a trust protocol that helps nonprofits build their communities and just create path to sustainability. So you see, the problem that we're solving is that you and I, we share information with each other all the time. Information that has consequences, and oftentimes we share with organizations too, and we have to trust these organizations to hold this information. And that's a concern. That's a huge concern, because as a founder, growing businesses, being in the trenches, I know that a lot of business owners, operators, we don't have the mental capacity or time to really take care of compliance, certification, especially for all of our employees, on how to handle sensitive information with all the new threats that are coming out, whether it's just impersonalization or social engineering using AI tools, because all these guys have access to the same tools that you and I do, and sometimes they build their own. Even FBI, when they go to somebody reported a breach, right? They say you really have to be on top of things, because with these new tools, these social engineers, they get credibility instantly. They know the timing, they know your relationships, messages, all that. So it's crazy, right? And by the way, insurance certification and compliance, they're getting more complicated and expensive by the day, and it's because of those reasons.
Yeah.
So even if a company has resources to do so, building a bigger firewall and fortress is not the answer either. It hasn't worked. And if somebody really wants to get access to information, especially I know, because my last company, the building the AI, right? We aggregated data from GitHub and LinkedIn and everywhere. There's companies that actually go and data mine this data, right?
Okay.
For others to buy it, your information becomes like a commodity in a way, whether you know it or not. And so we don't have any control over that. Once it's out there, it's public, we, it's one way being resold, used without our consent. And the current consent system is broken completely. You can opt out, GDPR, CCPA. So is there a way for us to regain agency over our own information, especially the most sensitive ones? And still for businesses and organizations to still have the ability to access information that they need, operate, and not have to store it and put us and themselves in risk. So we built the trust protocol to address all of that for businesses, especially nonprofits, because they have no technical capability to take care of sensitive information. They're already swamped, understaffed, lack of resources. They don't do the training like we're used to, right? And they're the ones that really are serving the most vulnerable populations across the world. And especially when it comes to donors, their donor information, that's something that they really need to protect. And I like helping nonprofits because, I chase after impact. If you have enough money, right, at some point it just becomes a number, right? And I'm very blessed in my life, so I want to be able to help. For example, the 1.4 billion people that are still unbanked, mostly in rural areas, emerging countries, that normal banking systems fail completely because they're so, ancient, right?
Don't get me started about banks, Nin. Do not get me started.
Yeah, I won't. But people don't even have IDs to KYC, right? To get and so they have to resort to just doing mobile minutes in order to transact and exchange and do commerce. So that's crazy. While we onboard a lot of nonprofits, we're partnering with Future Black Africa, and they are serving the folks in the rural areas who normally would not be even given the opportunity to enter the workforce. Yeah.
And to follow this up, Nin, what is your target demographic here?
So we're a B2B company, and we onboard and sell to like the 1.9 million executive directors of nonprofits, mostly in the US for now, right?
Okay.
But a lot of them, they also have missions and projects and programs in all kinds of countries across the world. And the reason why is because nonprofits, especially in the US, they represent like 10.2, 10.7, depending on what report you look at, of the entire US GDP, right? So they get a lot of aid, right? And a lot of them have the money. We want to make sure that they're building on a solid foundation, not on like things like, don't want to hate on Telegram or Discord or other places, right? But I know on Telegram, for example, whole communities can be copied, and oftentimes those copy communities offer nothing but scam and spam.
Exactly. And I've got to ask as well. You mentioned Cardano. In the past, you were very much in the Cardano community. But what were some of your key decisions when you chose to base the platform using Solana technology and really integrating yourself into the Solana community, coming to events like Flow Bali where we're at currently? What were some of those key decisions there?
Yeah, we were at Cardano for a while, and I love the Cardano community. They have a really solid one. There's people, just like in every crypto community, who are amazing. They would give not just their bags, their time, their everything in order to advance a mission, right? Like banking the unbanked, connecting the uh, uh, not connected, right, and so on, helping the climate. But we essentially built a lot of the open source infrastructure, like quadratic voting and funding to support public goods. But it seemed like people didn't really care that much about going after like quadratic voting and funding, and they wanted to stick with proof of stake. It's a great chain for investors, don't get me wrong, right? Because of proof of stake, I hold my bags there, some of them, and it just, I stake it and earns me a yield, very safe, right? Every epoch or so. But when it comes to actually building a product and something that people are going to actually use, like we came to Solana because of the tech, obviously.
Yeah.
Cardano is really hard to build on. Haskell and the ICANN frameworks. It's very early on. Everything is like, you have to build your own and host your own validators. There's not a lot of infrastructure there. All the builders, when you enter, first of all, all my co-founders had to learn Haskell, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh yeah, Haskell is the top 5 programming language that you can just pick up easily. They have a lot of education, and everybody's very much a self-taught engineer. That's common in Web3, right?
Yeah.
But when you go to Solana, Rust, TypeScript, they're very accessible languages. It's very easy to build. Like all my Web3 engineers, developers, like, wow, this is like night and day difference. And over here you have Solana Pay. Over there, there's nothing. You have to build everything from scratch. So even if you build it, everybody's trying to build their own thing, and nobody's, they're like, they don't want to use your stuff. They want to build their stuff because I don't know. I don't want to get into the details.
I don't want to poke too much.
Yeah, exactly. I love the
community.
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 I'm sorry, but
how has the welcome been with the Solana community when you made the decision to enter the Solana community? What's it been like?
It's amazing. Actually, Flow Bali is my first Solana community event, and all the founders here are super nice. They're super welcoming, very kind. There's a humility, like a tone of humility here. No one's like, oh, I have bigger bags than you, right?
No.
We just want to build together, no matter what projects or stage of your project you are. They give good feedback, right? The mentors are really involved, and even here, like we have maybe 3 or 4 projects and founders that we're going to be onboarding on Gravity on a pilot basis, just to help them build their communities and do some partnerships and marketing and all of that. It's been really fun. Naturally, that happens when you're new, but like, like especially when it comes to like token generating events, like a lot of projects are here. Everyone's kind of like moving together because we all have teams. Like my team has 7 core members, but other founders team may have 5, and maybe other projects may have 10. But if we all move together, then we're an army of 20 to 30 instead of just 7, right? Yeah, and that's beautiful. I love it. And I'm also getting we're learning a lot. Obviously, there's amazing mentors. We just had Cosmos talk about Web3 marketing, Web3 branding, how to conquer X and LinkedIn and TikTok and YouTube. Not so relevant to us, right? Because we're B2B, but yeah, all fun, all good.
Oh, brilliant. I can say from my experiences as well, I found the Solana community very welcoming. I went to one of the hack houses in Taiwan in 2023 where I met Crypto Slice, one of the founders of Flow Bali here. And, I was welcomed with open arms, something that I didn't have with other chains. I'd been to ETH events. I'd been, to I won't name them, but a few other events, and it just wasn't the same. And I find the Solana community, a lot of people are building. There was even a slogan by our co-working station, which said, we'll see you at the top. And I feel that kind of narrative is good. Everyone's helping each other build. Everyone's coming together in this community, and it's great to see. But Nin, I've got to ask you as well, because I know you've got a lot of wisdom. You've been in business for many years now. You've seen a lot of things. You've even, like you said, you failed in some business, so you've learned a lot there. But what's some advice that you can give people listening in that are looking to enter a career in Web3? What's your best advice there?
Get started. There's a lot of documentation, especially on Solana. It's all free. A lot of open source, like LimeChain did a great workshop. Right, you can learn. Like YouTube is a great resource. Go there, watch the tutorials, download the code if you want to be a coder. If you just want to, be your biz dev or growth hacker, join spaces, listen. Right, if you want to be a trader, investor, reach out to Spud. Easy, man. There's so many movers and shakers now in the space that. You just go on Twitter, search Solana, or you go on Google, search Solana, or go to YouTube, search Solana, right? Check them out. And there's a lot of people like the Solana super team, of course. In some ways, for sure. Like I talked to founders here. A lot of them are part of the super team. I didn't even know. And they just help other founders, help people who are coming in, new devs. Want to give a shout out to like BK from World, right? I didn't know he's part of Super Team, but he is, and he's like, yeah, I'm just helping the community anyway. If there's a new game designer or developer who wants to chat, right? I'll answer their questions, especially if it comes to like, doing something with NFTs or how to build their games and stuff like that. So, been really fun. Keep learning. That's what it is.
I've got to say as well, like Nin said, if you're looking to join CSC Plus, if you're looking to be a part of a community, perhaps you can't go to in real life events. I'd always stress in real life events are key. Your network is your net worth. But if you're looking to join an online community, come join CSC Plus, guys. There is a code to join for only £20 a month now, 80% off, NY80, New Year 80, NY80, guys. Go check it out. Link is in the description there. But Nin, everyone's asking, what are some of the updates and what's the roadmap looking like? When can we expect some announcements, and when can people get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a brand new project on Solana. We built some Solana programs. We just haven't integrated into the main application. Just go if you want to check it out. Just go on Grav ID. The top right button, you click the launcher. It takes you into the application itself, or you can download the iOS and the Android app. Enjoy and check out some of the communities. Right. Soon enough, we'll have Solana projects and Solana communities on the app. I'm really excited to work on with some of them, and like what I do is just exchange knowledge sometimes, right? Help each other grow and move together. We're integrating and building some Solana Pay into the application, because right now we have the non-custodial crypto wallets within the app. You'd have to find it, right? But it's hidden because typically we just sell to Web2 businesses and nonprofits. But believe me, they don't care if you donate in USD or Bitcoin or Solana, they'll take it, right?
Crypto.
Exactly, money's money, right? So for our job is to make sure that those non-stable donations become stable, right? And that it gets deposited into the right account when the nonprofit withdraws. Same for any for-profit company that have a community on a platform. And some of that is all of this is being built open source. We're partnering with the Solana Foundation to make that available to the community, just to have the payment protocol to make it easier, and essentially Solana, right? Near instantaneous transactions at scale with lowest fees possible. So combining both security and privacy over sensitive information with philanthropy through stable means and also any other means, any Solana token means. So in a couple months we'll have a.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead, Nin.
Yeah, in a couple months we'll have a token generating event. Still very much so learning about all of this. There's some masterminds here. I'll keep you guys posted. For sure when that happens. Maybe we can do another one of these. But yeah, definitely. The time that I got to spend at Flow Bali was and is still very magical. So.
Brilliant. We've got a lot of keen traders in here, so I know they want to get involved. And guys, I will be updating in the Discord with Nin as well. And then, like I say, Nin, I'd love to have you back on a stream. When TG is coming up, etc. But first, where can people find you as well? Where's the best place to get involved in your community?
We're very easy to find. Grav.id is our website. Or on Twitter, we have a Telegram group, we have Discord. We're pretty much everywhere. We mostly live on Twitter and on LinkedIn, just because LinkedIn is where the nonprofits live. But yeah, if you search Nin Tran Gravity, I will be everywhere as well.
Brilliant.
Guys,
the link is in the description. You can find the website. Go make an account there as well. Join the communities like Nin said, and go give them a follow on Twitter. It's Gravid Community. I will be posting links in the Discord. Follow me up there. Any questions you have, put them in the Discord, guys, as well, and I will follow those up with Nin. Nin, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to having you back on stream. In the next few months when the next announcement is out.
Yeah, this was really fun. Thanks for having me on. And we'll be back for sure.
We'll be back. Thank you so much, Nin. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be seeing you tomorrow with a very new guest as well. We've got guests lined up all next week, guys. All the Solana Chads. I'm putting in the work for you guys, so you'll see me on your spaces every day on Twitter, on YouTube. I appreciate the likes and the subscribes, guys. Turn channel notifications on so you do not miss as well. Nin, sayonara. Take care.
See ya. Bye, you guys.